This is the April 14th meeting of the Porter County Redevelopment Commission. Commissioner Good.
Thank you, Kurt. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance before we start. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, this is the Porter County Redevelopment Commission meeting. This is April 14th, 2020, and we are streaming this live on Facebook in reference to our public meeting. We have some business to do here today. We're also meeting a statutory obligation by meeting 4 times a year, and this is second quarter meeting. So first of all, I think all of you know that we've started construction on the South Haven substation project building. If you've driven by, you've seen the iron is up and things are progressing. Now with the construction started, we need to move into the business of paying our vendors and paying our subcontractors. And so what we have in front of us here is approval of invoices. And what we have, Scott, should we do these independently, or should we do the 3 all together?
On the pay applications, you can do all 3 together, and just as a reminder, we need to do a roll call vote.
Right. Okay, so pay application number 1 is the first pay application for the job. I think Christy has sent out all the backup detail on these pay applications. They were approved. Pay application 1 was approved by Skillman Corporation, who is overseeing this on behalf of the county. And the first pay application is for $33,937.37. Pay application number 2 is for $87,743.30. And then pay application number 3 is $237,076.23. And that pretty much, those 3 pay applications have gotten us to the point to where we at. They're probably a little further ahead of that because billing usually lags. But those are the dollar amounts that are in front of this board. And if you want to have any discussion or anything, I'll open it up to the floor. Any questions?
Steve, you've been out by it a couple times lately, haven't you?
It's been a week or so. They closed down 700, so I stopped going that way, or at least there was some barriers up. So I took a few pictures of it early when it was coming up.
Yeah, but that was more than a week ago. The iron and everything was up.
Correct. I think there's some siding when I drove by the other day. I saw some of that from the road, but
Yeah.
you know, it's a little far to look.
It's coming along quickly, though.
Oh yes. Well, you saw day 1 picture, and then day 2 when I sent you. I think we were both kind of surprised.
Yeah,
they were moving.
Yep.
There's still a lot of work that needs to go into that floor once we get a little bit better weather. Because if you recall, we're putting Weersbo heating in the floor there, so that'll be hot water, warm water piping floor that will have to go into that floor. So the floor will probably take a lot more work than a traditional floor, just because of the Weersbo and getting that all installed properly and going from there. So coming together, and I'm very pleased that we're getting this off the ground. It's going to come at a real good time. You know, and Jeremy, I know you're from that area, and one of the things that Scott and I were talking about is once this building gets done, with all the COVID stuff that's going on, we now have another building if we ever need to do drive-throughs or whatever, because this building has garages on both sides, and it can become a very useful utilitarian type building for us as we move into the future of the county. So it's sort of interesting how things work out. So with that, what we want to do is we need to take action on the 3 applications. And I'll throw it to the floor for any action.
I'll make a motion to approve all three pay applications, 1, 2, and 3.
Thank you, Jeremy.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second for the 3 pay applications to Hassey Construction. Any further discussion? And without any further discussions, I will move to Madam Auditor for a roll call.
Yes, Commissioner Good,
Yes.
Councilmember Rivas,
Yes.
Mr. Solarski,
Yes.
Mr. Giliana,
Yes.
and Mr. Ensign.
Yes.
5-0.
Thank you, Madam Auditor. Now we're going to move into the allowance authorizations. I know I've looked these over. I know Skillman has been working with Bob Thompson and the crew going through all of these things. The first one that we have in front of us are allowance authorizations, number 1. And in our contracted amount, we had allowances for certain items. In allowance authorization number 1, these we revised the glass and the sectional doors. And that's the garage doors and some of the other doors that we have in the building to beef up the glass and to make it a little bit more tamper-proof, I guess is the right word to say. So we have an add of $2,070. And then the revised footing drawings designs was an add of $3,583. And that was just basically a difference in the engineered building that we ended up buying. There were some additional columns and piers and things that we had to do to make that engineered building work. And from a foundation standpoint, in my world, that's a pretty small change order for making it right. So that is, those are adds to allowances that were in the bids. So we would need to take action on both of those and to put those allowance authorizations in place so the contractor can move on them. So I'll throw it to the floor.
This is Don Ensign. I'll make a motion to approve the allowance authorization number 1.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for allowance authorization number 1 for the South Haven substation. Madam Auditor, please call the roll.
Yes, Commissioner Good,
Yes.
Councilmember Rivas,
Yes.
Mr. Solarski,
Yes.
Mr. Giliana,
Yes.
and Mr. Ensign.
Yes.
5-0.
Thank you. Okay, now in the change order number 1, we have some good news. Once we got Hassey on board and we started looking at some different options that we could take a look at to try and save some dollars without sacrificing the compromise of the building. And the ones we've come up to is this change order number 1. We have some value engineering in the building itself, which is right around $35,850. That comes back to the County Redevelopment Commission. We have a boiler size reduction, and that's the boiler that heats the Weirsbo floor. That was sized a little too large in the document drawings, and we've worked back through the engineers, and this is the boiler size that we've settled on. So there was a deduct for that of $2,900. And then we have sheet vinyl flooring in lieu of VCT. So they had called out for sheet vinyl flooring in a lot of the workroom, not in more of the office, kitchen area. And we decided to put VCT in there, which we think will last longer. It'd be a little bit more waxing and things that we have to do, but we have a buildings facilities department that it's a small room. We can knock that out very easily. And we decided to take the $1,442 for the VCT, which I think will be a much longer term solution than vinyl flooring. So With that, I think I did an ad. It's right around $40,192 that would be the credit in this change order number 1. So any discussion from the board on these change orders, deductions?
What was I'm sorry, Commissioner Good, what was the deduct, the 35,000, the value engineering? I think I missed that.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull that up. I think it was, Bob, do you have any detail on that? I know I went through it 3 weeks ago and I've, let me see.
Part of that was with the landscaping. We were going to not use their landscaping quote and everything. And we went to another landscaper to get prices and have them do the work. Matter of fact, Mike Novotny has that, and I think forwarded on. We just didn't have time to get it on for everybody's approval on that.
So Jeremy, in answer to your question, of the 35,850, I think right around 21,500 was for landscaping.
Correct.
So if you pull that out, now you're down to about 13, 14 grand. And I think those were just, there are a lot of little miscellaneous things that we went back through and picked out. There's a whole page. Let me see here.
I've got the list in front of me here, Commissioner Good.
Yeah.
Some of the flooring was cove basing. That was portions that we removed. We were going to use a local brick supplier, saved about $1,500 there. Some cable in lieu of EMT conduit. That saved us a considerable amount, about $3,800.
We also removed the translucent panels that were up at the top of the building.
That's what it was. That's what it was. And that was a big number, I think.
Yeah, that was like, where was that? I had it.
13.5.
Yeah, 13.5.
So there's a big chunk of it right now. If you look at the plans, there was some light panels, Jeremy, that were way at the top of the building. And we're just thinking you can't clean them. You can't, you know, this is going to be like a low maintenance shelf. So we just sort of nixed it.
Right.
Make it a little more bomb proof.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Good question, though. I had them all memorized. I just couldn't remember them. It was so long ago. So I think the building committee did a pretty good job of beating that down, and obviously $40,000 coming back to us. We just approved about 3,500 or 5,500 in change orders. It's about a net of 34,000 deduct on the project so far. And I would like to say that I think the landscaping bid, the 21,000 that was Assie's bid, the bid we got back was right around 17,000.
Yeah.
And it's a Portage Township landscaping company's doing it too. So we wanted to try and keep it as local as we could. There's not a lot of landscaping. It's really just soil erosion nets and stuff. It's not really many plants or stuff. It's more soil erosion stuff. So we've made a little bit of money back on that landscaping already. So that's the detail on that. Any other questions? Okay. Well, what we'll do now is I'll throw it to the floor and we'll look for action on these change order number 1.
I'll make a motion. This is Jeremy Rivas. Commissioner Good, I'll make a motion to approve the change order number 1 with the 3 change orders down that are listed.
Okay.
Don
Steve Solarski,
Ensign.
I'll second it.
Yep.
We got a couple
We're
seconds. We got a Zoom second on that one.
There you go.
So we have a motion and a second on change order number 1. And I'll throw it to Madam Auditor for the roll call.
Yes. Commissioner Good,
Yes.
Council President Rivas,
Yes.
Mr. Solarski,
Yes.
Mr. Giliana,
Yes.
and Mr. Ensign.
Yes.
5-0.
Awesome. Okay, board, thank you. What I would like to do though, before we break, once we sort of get in an area where we start moving out of the COVID and we can all start going outside and actually seeing each other, what I'd like to do is get together with Kurt and get our group together up there so we can take a photo of the building going up. And I'd like to, I think it'd be a good story for the county and also the Redevelopment Commission has been up to and our new mission and what we're doing. So when we get the fog cleared here, we'll get together and try to get a photo of in front of all the work that we've done, message to the community what we're up to. So look forward to getting together and seeing everybody in person on that day. Again, I still think this is a great project. It's a great fit for what we're doing up there. It makes a lot of sense. And it's going to be a great building for many years to come. And it's going to have a lot of different uses. And I'm very, very happy about that. And I just want to thank this board for the work that we've done to this point. And I think the next 3 to 4 months, we'll finish it out and hopefully have her open by the summer and we can start moving into it. So we'll go from there. But I want to thank everybody and everybody stay safe and keep your head down and hope to see you all soon in person.
Thank you, Commissioner Good. With that, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Bye.
Aye.
We are now recessed. Thank you all and have a great day.
Good to
Thanks.
see you, Walter.
Yep.
Even you, Mr. Solerski.
Hey, I made it.